There's one. Set for stun.
Three guys sitting in a dark room that smells like bad cucumbers.
Don't make me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
Inconceivable!
Now featuring 11 listeners.
This is the Unique Geek.
You slimy scumbag, get on your face and give me 25.
This is the Unique Geek.
And welcome to another edition of 50 Days of Dragon Con, the podcast that just got home from school's thrown down their backpack and has turned on He-Man. And joining me as always is Lee. Lee, how you doing?
Hi. Is it the new He-Man?
No. Well, no. I mean, yeah. No. Yes. No, it's
Okay,
the old school one.
It's the old school. That's fine as long as it's the new school.
I was just throwing back to my childhood. That's all.
I'm okay with that. That's perfectly
Go
fine. You're a
He-Man,
child.
Gem,
Gem.
and then G.I. Joe in my area.
Yeah. Truly outrageous.
Yes.
What was it in my area? I don't really remember. See, we watched Star Trek reruns from 4 to 5. They had Star Trek reruns.
Yeah.
And we all watched that. So that was really good. And then
before school, I'd watch Brave Star.
Brave Star?
Yeah, that's it. These are the only memories I have of childhood.
I don't know what Brave Star was, but that's okay. I'm all good.
He's strength of a puma, bear, grizzly as a bear. No, something like that.
So you didn't have Thundercats, or was
we had Thundercats too. That is true. I think that might have filled out that second. That was after school. So those were the four after school. Was G.I. Joe? Well, actually, went in this order: He-Man, Gem, G.I. Joe, and then Thundercats.
So wait, okay, hold on.
Yes, Gem is in the middle of there. Yes.
I've been giving you a hard time for years about Gem, but you actually really.
Oh, it was what was between. It was what was between G.I. Joe and why am I blanking on it again? I just said it 2 seconds ago.
He-Man.
He-Man. Yeah. What? You didn't think I actually watched it? No, I watched it. That has never been a thing that wasn't my affection for it. Might be a little overblown. Might be a bit of a facade, but I have watched every episode at least 3 or 4 times in my life. Yes,
that's just great.
Just because was what was on.
Okay, so there haven't been a whole lot of guest announcements recently. I would want to say hi to everybody who is watching right now and or watching or listening later. Hi, it's good to see everybody and listen to them if they send us conversations. But John, we've had some questions.
Oh yes, we have. We've been neglecting to answer them.
We have. And one of the big questions we have, and you have 2 other ones, but we got one through our email, and it's about how do I get to the Marriott, how do I cross over Peachtree Street before the parade? And I'm going to tell you this year, the only way to make sure you can do that is cross over at 9 a.m. I'm really not going to joke. I'm not even trying to be a jerk about it.
To get around the parade, yeah.
Get around the parade because we don't know what they're going to be doing this year. It has been said there's a parade. As of today, 8:20, there is a parade.
Yes.
And that it will only be Dragon Con members who are lining up to watch the parade.
Who will be allowed on the street.
Atlanta is going to do that, I don't know. And you know what?
That's not for us to decide, for us to determine. Like I said, we will, when we talk to, I think it's next week, we're supposed to talk with some of the
We'll start talking to people next week and the week after.
Okay. Yeah. And this is only 2 weeks left at this point.
Well, we really
it has to be at least next week or the week after.
We have next week and we have the week after. Don't we have all of the week after next week?
No, because it starts.
No, right.
Yeah.
Only 2 weeks.
The con starts on Tuesday, so.
Yeah.
It starts on Thursday, just for the record. So we'll discuss with them, but it is interesting. It is an interesting. They may not be even able to tell us how to get around the parade, other than what Lee just said, which is cross over at 9:00, be where you want to be before the parade actually starts,
Before the parade starts,
or wait till after the parade ends. So
yes, and that's that's not the greatest answer. In years past, I would have told you to go down the MARTA escalators and or elevators, cross, which goes under Peachtree Street and then go up. But last year they closed that, or 2 years ago in 19 they closed that, and in 20 we didn't have it. So, and this year especially, and that's when they were letting crowds like the public come. So who the heck knows? So, and I cannot read any of those because I am cleaning my glasses because I had a spot right in front of my eye. But just know that the best idea right now for this one, unless you hear different when we talk to some of the powers that be, cross at 9, because they usually put all of the fences, as it were, the metal fences up, barricades around 9:30 is my understanding, because John and I are usually at the front of the parade helping get everybody off on time and making sure all the Deadpools are where they are supposed to be, and all the pirates have their rum and everything like that.
Yeah. Yeah, and so a couple of things that for the audio listeners, a couple of things. First of all, Duckman's here. Hey.
Hi, Duckman.
Actually, you know what? Vamp, Lee. Vamp, talk.
Okay. I did watch Duckman. That was actually kind of one of the first adult cartoons I even knew about. And I like Duckman. I also loved The Tick when I became an adult. And I actually I got it at Dragon Con, which was a little stick figure guy you could put on with the pen that was from The Tick, and I would yell a lot of times, "Spoon." Yes. What have you got?
I'm trying the duck that I got from Duckman the last time I was a con.
Oh, is that the Duckman? I thought we were talking about the Duckman cartoon.
No. Duckman as in Duckman and Duck Fairy.
Hi, Duck. Hi, Duck people. They're wonderful, and we do love our ducks.
I don't know why it's yellow. It's not green. I don't know why it's not picking up on the.
It's
anyway,
it's
I'm pretty sure this is the one because it's been sitting on top of my piece of Marriott carpet. That
would be it. Yeah, mine are in
hold
my.
On. You can just do this. So,
okay, now you can do it.
It's somewhere up there.
It's somewhere up there.
There we go.
Okay,
you see the Marriott carpet in the background?
Yeah,
right there. It's usually sitting right on top of it. Right there.
Yep, I got you. I got it. All good.
And the magic of video. There we go.
Magic of the background comes back. I didn't realize that's the Duckman we were talking, or the Duck people we were talking about. I thought you talked about Duckman the cartoon because we were talking about cartoons. Oops. But that's okay. Yes. Okay. Hi, Duckman and Duckwoman and
Duck Fairy.
Duck Fairy and all the ducks. So now what else, John, do we have as a question?
You know what? I didn't look it up. Are there any fun things for kids to do at Dragon Con?
You know what?
Look at me hand-fisting that intro.
There are a lot of great things for kids to do at Dragon Con. First of all, if they're members, watch the parade. If they're not members, watch it on the Atlanta CW is going to be doing it. And thank you from Duckman. He says I do a great job of wrangling the Deadpools. I do, and I love the Deadpools in the parade because I get to dance with them. To Careless Whisper, of course. Thank God nobody has taped that yet. Yay. Let's not this year either. Okay, so that's one. And then that was one. But yes, we were talking about, see, this is why I don't look at the comments.
You don't have to.
There are lots of things for kids to do, which is
really
fun at Dragon Con. You know what?
Man, if only Dragon Con would think of some sort of track to make for kids only.
I know. You know.
Well, maybe it's not for only kids, but maybe it's for those kids at heart as well.
Well, see, I thought somebody was going to come to your house to talk about that today.
Oh wait, somebody is here. Hold on.
I mean, that's what we were planning on, right?
Someone's at the door. Let me go check. Hello. Who is it? it's Jonathan.
Hello.
Someone who spells his name properly.
And who both of them spell it Jonathan.
T-H-A-N. That is the
The
correct way to spell it.
Jonathan is the Kids Track director. You have been the director since.
So I've been I was the track director in 2020 during the
Right.
Dragon Con Goes virtual.
Mhm.
That was actually meant to be my my introduction, sort of shadow the previous director, Jill, who I had worked with for several years as both a volunteer and as a attending professional. And when she decided to find some other ways to make Dragon Con great, I was asked to step in and continue the work that she did.
Yes, and love Jill, and she's done a great job for years. But no, it's great. It's always wonderful to have new track directors and other people sharing the joy of Dragon Con in different ways.
Absolutely.
So that's always lots of fun. So now, Jonathan, it is now Kids Track. This changed in 2019
Correct.
from the old Kaleidoscope, but
Right.
it is now KT Kids Track. Thank goodness, because
Yeah, nine out of 10 attendees couldn't spell kaleidoscope, so it.
I couldn't.
We
Every
were-
time I had to spell it for,
Yeah.
to post anything, I was like,
looking it up. It was
I'm looking it up.
Yeah, I volunteered for many years, and I still had trouble spelling it. So we figured little truth in advertising, change it to Kids Track, and I think that was a wise change.
a wise change, yeah. And so again, last year would have been year 2. It's now year 3 of Kids Track. And you've had one other big change, which is, John, if you'd love to explain
Stop.
this. The one other big change is you are no longer in Marriott. Where
It's true.
will Track be this year?
So in 2019, along with the change in name, we also shifted from the Marriott to the Hyatt. We're in the International Tower on the lower level. We have 2 track rooms. We have Spring and Techwood
Okay.
in the Hyatt Tower.
Okay, and the Hyatt Tower is what is often called the International Tower.
Correct.
And that's actually a great place because people going down or up from International on that side of the Hyatt are only going there. They aren't going anywhere else. They're not trying to get across to get to the parking garage. They're not trying to get anywhere else. They're going back and forth from there. So it's a nice traffic area too.
So, in years past, one of the nice things about us being in that spot in the Marriott near that kind of sunroom area was there was a lot of traffic. People saw us, but the downside was it was really hard to get out and everything. This year, especially, reduced traffic and less crowds feels like a real blessing that we get to kind of avoid that. And we're in a spot where when people come to where we are, we know that they're coming for us or one of the other tracks that's immediately in the area.
And now
So-
you just said you were in Spring and Techwood, so you're going to have 2 actual KT rooms.
Correct. And this is something that started back in 2019 as well. We've got one that's set up for activities, things like crafts, our trivia games, and stuff like that. And then the other one is set up more traditionally for panels with like a theater style seating.
Oh, okay, great. That's awesome. So just curious, what are some of the panels and what are some of the activities you're going to be doing in Kids Track? Oh, well, first of all, who is Kids Track targeted toward? What's the kid in Dragon Con lexicon?
So,
People 65 and over.
yeah.
They're kids at heart.
So one of the challenges of Kids Track, of course, is that in years past, especially, is that a lot of the stuff that the people who come to Dragon Con love is also targeted for kids sometimes. And so the Kids Track is really targeted for kids now anywhere from 6 to 14, 15. It's not limited only exclusively to them, but the majority of the programming is set up for those age ranges. And the way that we've really tried to make that clear and make that happen is to, rather than having adults get up on the panel stage and talk about kid media and youth-friendly media, we're having more and more kids and teens get up and be the panelists and be the moderators and be the ones who are there talking. Because the reality is kids don't want to listen to a bunch of boomers talk about the shows and the media that they love. They want to hear other teenagers. They want to hear other kids their age.
Yeah, they don't want to. They don't want to hear John go on and on about Jim and that He-Man.
Right.
There was only one real He-Man cartoon, and it was on at 3.
They'll actually know who He-Man is now. They'll know who he is now thanks to the new cartoon. But yeah,
Yeah, they don't want to hear John's expose.
we're trying to make Kids Track really about and for kids.
Okay.
First of all, I will never say there was only one true He-Man. I am quite
Good job.
enjoying. I've enjoyed I've only watched 3 episodes of the new series, but I've enjoyed it. So
It's good. It was good.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
like
I know a lot of people are bent out of shape because it's not really about get over yourself.
You can't.
It's called Masters of the Universe, first of all.
Yeah, you can't make anything and have not people get up out of shape. So, but
I know.
I thought it was good.
Yeah. Okay, so that's number 1. But I also wanted to point out when you said, Jonathan, you said Kids Track 6 to 14 or 15. So
Yeah.
everybody should hear this very, very clearly.
Hmm.
Kids Track is for those ages that cannot be by themselves at con. Remember, we had a whole thingy a while back. It's 16 or over in order to walk around con without someone else.
Yep.
So Kids Track is not where you go and drop your kids off and come back later. They are not, and I'm being the bad guy here.
Oh,
And
no, I know. We have to have this conversation with folks every year. And,
Every year.
you know, we don't have a babysitting track.
Nope.
There are some people who I think, spend their time at con helping out with childcare with families they know, and I'm sure they're out there. But no, we're really focused on programming, and the main things to know if you're a parent or if you're a teenager but you haven't hit 16 years old yet is, anybody who's under the age of 7 doesn't need a badge, but 7 and over, you have to have a badge in order to be let in. And if you're under 16, you have to have a parent or guardian or an adult with you who's going to be there the entire time. And a lot of our programming, if you're an adult and you don't have a kid with you, you may get turned away, or we may hold off on letting you in and make sure that the seats that are available are filled in with kids and their parents and guardians before we let childless adults take those seats. Obviously, it depends on the panel or it depends on the activity, but most of the time we're going to make sure that the seats are open for kids before we let in childless adults.
That's awesome, because I also love the idea that you're getting actual kids to be the moderators. And I'm sorry, 15, you're a teenager. That's good. But I agree. Mine's now 22, and I heard all the time about how he was 12 and a half. So he was really a teenager, and I needed to stop. But the thing I love about that is you're going to focus it's for kids by kids. It's kind of like Dragon Con is for the fans by the fans.
Mm-hmm.
Track is going to be that way, and that's going to be wonderful. And I think that's just awesome that you're doing it that way. So what are some of the panels that are going to be big this year, do you think, or going to be people are going to want to be there?
Yeah. So we have a lot of really cool stuff planned. So in that, youth panelists and youth-led panels, we're going to have panels about popular book series like Warrior Clans and Wings of Fire. We're going to have youth panels about YouTube, about Minecraft. And we're also going to have several activities. We've got a Davey Beauchamp, who's a great attending pro who does volunteers with the track, has for many years. He's going to be doing a Harry Potter trivia game. We're going to be doing a Nintendo themed trivia game the following night. And we're going to be trying out something new this year. We're going to have a ultimate video game character showdown, sort of the Kids Track take on Death Battles, where we're going to have a bracket with pairs of characters from video games, and the audience is going to get to decide who would win in a fight until we finally crown a champion at the end of the hour.
That is going to be fun to watch, because I can see people arguing and yelling loudly for their favorites as you go forward in that. That's just, I love it. So now we talked about panels and activities. There are some things, unfortunately, you're not going to be able to have this year, just to be safe for
So
every-
I don't know if your audience is aware, but there have been some things going on for the past year and a half. I know hasn't made the news too much, but we're having to adjust our strategies and our way of life, and that certainly extends to Kids Track at the con. We cannot hold our annual family dance or the character encounter, and these really have been the two most popular and biggest events that Kids Track has done over the past 4 or 5 years. And just because of both the volume of people that get packed into the space, and also how active, especially with the dance, how active everybody gets, they're breathing hard. That's specifically the kind of thing that we want to minimize with the pandemic.
Yeah, and unfortunately, your track does cater to a group that isn't even eligible for the vaccine at this point.
Yeah,
So
that's been a real challenge. I have a great staff of volunteers. A lot of them are returning from previous years. They've worked with Jill as well, and that's something that we've talked a lot about, is how to do our best to make sure that everybody stays safe, both on the staff level and also everybody who's attending, whether it's parents or kids. So some of our activities are meant to be sort of a lower risk replacement for those. We've got Duckman and Duck Fairy coming. We've gotten a little bit larger room this year, so that way we can spread out a little bit more, put the tables a little farther apart, and they're going to be doing their duck coloring activity. And that's going to be going on. Right now it's scheduled for Saturday. All this obviously to change, but
yes.
Yeah.
it's in the app. The app's been released, so
has it? I haven't even checked.
it's in there. So that's why I'm saying it. So I want to let everybody know it is subject to change, but right now that's where it is in the app.
I'm just so happy John, my John.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, wait, wrong. Anyway, it's okay. The other thing I want to say, because of the character encounters, and Jonathan, I think you were a part of this decision, is Junior Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. came over to X-Track. It was supposed to start in 2020, but there were a little bit of changes. And this year, that has, again, also been put on the back burner. But as Duckman said just a minute ago in the comments, there is always next year. And I want a junior badge. I want my Junior Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. badge or whatever I get. I want.
They're great. Those guys put on a heck of a
they have a wonderful
obstacle course and a heck of an activity. And yeah, we were planning on being involved in that, and I'm certainly looking forward to it. I'm hoping that we get to
we'll be able to
put that on next year and get involved.
Yeah. Just
what kind of activities do you hold in your activity room?
So the trivia stuff that I was talking about is going to be in the activity room. We've got a couple of activities that are geared for younger kids. We've got some crafts and kind of coloring. This year we're trying out after the parade. There's going to be one of our rooms is going to be kind of a family playroom, and the goal is going to be low key things that the kids can play with and crafts that they can do, in a space for families to come and relax. Obviously, they'll still have to be there, watch their kids, and be in charge of their children. But it'll be a space for Dragon Con families to meet each other and to cool down and relax after the parade. We've also got in the activity room, we're going to have several drawing tutorials. We've got 4 different artists who are scheduled right now. Again, everything's subject to change, but right now we've got 4 great artists. Sean Durrington, Corinne Roberts, and Davey Beauchamp are all scheduled to do either art tutorials or art challenges in the activity room with the kids.
That is very cool. This idea of duck coloring. I'm a terrible colorer, but if I can get there, I'm a coming, because I love to color.
It was very popular in 2019. It was one of the most popular events.
I don't stay in the lines real well. Even when I'm really trying, it just, John, don't say it. John Boutel, I know you're thinking of something.
Now, what if someone comes over that could pass for a 16-year-old? Hey, you pass for a 16-year-old, please. Anyway, so you mentioned
hair.
I'm trying to undig my hole here. So you mentioned that you have some artists coming now. You guys don't really have any media guests this year, right?
No, and actually, the kids track is really moving away from media guests, not entirely, but and focusing more on either hands-on activities that kids and teens can do, or those youth-led panels and discussions. Certainly, when there is if there's media guests who come to the con who are appropriate and more geared toward a younger audience, absolutely, we'd love to have them. But the majority of media guests at Dragon Con really do tend to be for shows and media to an older audience. So we didn't, we feel good. We feel really good about the programming this year, and it definitely doesn't feel lacking because of the lack of media. Yes.
Now,
Wouldn't it be amazing if you could get Bert and Ernie one year to actually be up on your stage? Bert and Ernie. I'm not talking anything below Bert and Ernie to actually.
I genuinely think that the folks over at Puppetry would probably fist fight us if we tried to take Bert and Ernie. That would have to be a team effort. We would definitely work.
It would
together
have to be a team effort.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's probably going to be in a bigger room than the track room.
Yeah, for sure.
You'd have to hide it somehow, name it something weird, and then like you get the telephone, you're telling people what it really is. Yeah,
Now,
that would be good.
Now, actually, there is a question from the audience, which is there is a kids' filk music on Sunday, correct?
Yep, that's one of our activities. It's currently, and again, everything is potentially subject to change, but it is scheduled. It's in the app, and we have a kids' filk activity scheduled for Sunday morning. So that's going to be a crossover with the filk track. We've actually done this once before. It was popular. It was a really good time. You can bring your own instruments to that. There will also be instruments provided by the folks from Filk.
Now, what areas? Because we really haven't covered this, but what areas does Kid Track actually cover? In other words, are there specific media properties, or is it sort of just a generalized?
So this changed actually over the years. And it was something that I got to watch happen as a volunteer, and then it sort of solidified over the past few years. It used to be that Kids Track was really focused on properties, Disney stuff and cartoons that were focused on kids. But the reality is, a lot of the stuff that adults who go to Dragon Con like are things that kids who go to Dragon Con like. And so now our programming is not really focused on specific media or specific properties. It's focused on kids engaging with and interacting with whatever media kids are enjoying, over that year and over that con.
Very cool. So, yay! You probably are going to be talking a little bit about Masters of the Universe and some of those other things. Maybe not Masters of the Universe because it came out just recently.
Yeah,
and it's a little older than probably maybe your target audience, but
I'm trying to. So one of the things that we're looking to do, it's not so much happening this year, but in the future is definitely getting more and more feedback from the attendees and from the kids and the teenagers who come to let us know, hey, what are you really interested in? What's going on? What kind of media is out there that you guys are loving and that you want to see in Kids Track? Well, so right now I'm relying on I've got 3 kids at home at various ages, so I'm relying on them a lot of the time. But I want to hear back from the folks who are coming to the track to let me know.
And you also now you do have a Facebook page. So what's if people do want to contact you as the year goes on, and understand something, folks, we really start planning usually around January. Track directors do, and they get really, really serious about planning around March and April. Mm-hmm. So don't call up in June saying you got to talk about whatever, because we're probably already a little set as we are. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, what is your Facebook group?
So it is the Dragon Con Kids Track Facebook. So if you type in Dragon Con Space Kids Space Track, you're good to go. That'll be the group that pops up. Yeah. And we post announcements. I'm really glad you talked about that. I almost forgot. Mm-hmm. So one of the things that we are looking for now we've got more panelist spots open for the youth panelists. And there's going to be a Google form posted up to the DragonCon Kids Track Facebook. So that way parents can log in, they can fill out the form with information about themselves and their child, how old their child is, and what media their child is interested in that we are offering panels on, if they would like to be considered as a panelist or a moderator on any of those panels during this upcoming year.
Well, and I meant to say this earlier too, but the other thing is that giving teenagers and kids and preteens this opportunity to be a panelist, to actually present, is just wonderful. I could not speak in public for years. I had a lisp and I had a stutter, which, wow. Yeah.
So you started a podcast. Makes perfect sense.
Yeah, now I got over it. First of all, speech therapy, but second of all, I got over it because I just did this. I kept talking to people and I kept presenting at things, and people kept asking me to present, and so that's great. And so if you have people that want to, or are like, oh, I'm worried I'll mess something up, understand this is the most forgiving audience you're ever going to have at DragonCon. So my son has presented, and he did it with John once, and he was, I don't know, 14, 13. And that was really good because we were talking about shows you can watch with your parents. And so, but that's one of those things, and it's great. So awesome opportunity. And they're creating a feeder system into the panelists for DragonCon coming up in the future. So really,
and also really, there is nothing that gets kids and teens more excited about going to con and engaging in DragonCon than getting to actually participate in the programming and not be passive audience members all the time listening to grown-ups talk about stuff.
We're boring. Grown-ups are boring. That's why I don't like being a grown-up sometimes. So, all right. Now, that's really cool. Is there anything we've really left out about Kids Track? Other than it's not a babysitting track. We're just going to keep saying that a whole lot.
Something I did have a question. So I know there's room caps. There's a room cap also. I assume the room cap also applies to the activity area as well, correct?
Yeah. So we'll be at the two. Now, the good news about the activity room is that because of the layout, it just accommodates much less people because there's space for people to do things. They're more spread out. The panel room is where that'll impact more, and we'll be at the same capacity reduction as everybody else.
Okay.
We do have I do want to mention real quick, we are trying out a new set of panels and activities that are focused on STEM. We've got attending professionals on loan from the space and the science track who are going to be talking about their work at NASA and the International Space Station. One of them is a little bit more hands-on of a activity with some videos and stuff, and then the other is like a Q&A where kids get to ask questions about the AP's careers in those fields and anything else they want to know.
There are a lot of opportunities in STEM. There are a lot of opportunities in everything that you don't think of, but you can be great at math and want to talk about calculus and do high-level calculus, and then later become this actuary, which is this thing that insurance does, and it's very, very confusing, but it's all about math.
I'm going to encourage the guests not to go into actuary during the panel, but I do hear what you're saying. I agree with that.
Yeah, I would not. I would never try to talk about that.
No, that might not be the sales pitch.
No, that would be a bad sales.
I would stick with the rocket science and the International Space Station. That's probably going to do.
Know your audience, Lee.
Your own little phone basically has more computer power than they had for the moon launch in '69. So yeah, that's great. Okay,
so Jonathan, we like to play a game with our guests at the end of our podcast. This year
games.
we've been taking advantage of the Jackbox TV, and well, so far it's been successful. Anybody that wants to join from the audience, we'll give a few minutes here to get people in.
And as people are coming in, Jonathan, again, you are going to be in the Hyatt International Tower this year. In what rooms?
In Spring and in Techwood.
That's great. And the best way to get you is through Facebook or any other social medias you want to push out?
Yeah, so on Facebook, we're DragonCon Kids Track. We are in the process of getting a Discord that is linked to the official DragonCon Discord set up. And so after the con this year, there is going to be a DragonCon Kids Track Discord where we are going to be hosting a chance for families to come and do things like play games, Jackbox games, and other things throughout the year leading up to the con, so that way they can stay connected with one another.
That has been amazing how many people have been making friends and continuing on Discord since forever, since 2020 when that became a big part of DragonCon. So that's awesome. So that is great. All right, now people, we need players. Come on. There are some of y'all watching and all of that.
Room
there
code?
we go.
You got it.
Come on.
Q B D L.
And again, the code is QBDL.
Yeah.
QBDL.
And tonight we will be playing a custom Quiplash that's titled "Kids Only Stay Out," put out by Jackbox. Now, knowing Jackbox, I'm presuming it's actually kids only, but who really knows?
But I'm gonna bet
We'll all find out. We'll all find out together.
you're still the moderator, right, John?
I'm still moderating, yes, because
still moderating.
it is the internet, and I
It
will
is the
moderate the
internet.
answers.
Heaven forbid we do not moderate on the internet or moderate during panels. But remember what panels we're in and what tracks, and if it's before 10 p.m. or after 10 p.m.
Now, I presume you guys don't have any after 10 p.m.
Actually, yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that too. I almost forgot. So we do have we got one 10 p.m. panel. The kids track is, we've got a couple of things that are geared toward families. We have like earlier in the day, this isn't the 10 p.m. track or 10 p.m. panel, but we have a beginner's guide to Walt Disney World. And so that's more for families and parents to learn how to sort of navigate Disney World if they've never been. Our 10 p.m. panel scheduled right now for Friday night is called Parenting Tough Topics, and it's meant for DragonCon parents to come. It's not open to kids, and we're going to be talking about all kinds of really difficult things that you have to deal with as parents, how to engage with your kids on a whole range of topics. It's going to be open to the audience for Q&A, and everybody on the panel is going to be not only a parent, but also have some kind of specialization or extra knowledge in their professional life. I work with kids in my field, my vocation, and so we're getting panelists who can provide some expertise and some perspective in addition to being parents.
That's
Yeah, I think I've actually, if I recall correctly, I've sat on that panel with you.
You did, yeah.
In years past, yeah.
Yep, and
Yeah,
we moved it
is really
from
tough.
yeah. So it used to be a 7 p.m. and parents inevitably raised their hand and wanted to ask questions that it was difficult to talk about at 7, and so we decided this year we'd try it at 10 p.m. so that way people could be unfiltered and really we could dig into harder stuff without having to worry about sensitive ears.
And every generation has always heard this, that it's more difficult now than it was before. It's just differently difficult. I don't ever know that it's more or less difficult. It's differently difficult. And everything that you can share as a resource as a parent who has been there and done things and all of that's wonderful. I'm glad y'all are doing that, Jonathan. I think that's wonderful
Yeah,
for
thank you.
for our next generation of little tiny geeks, which is awesome. All right.
Okay, all right, I think we're going to go ahead and start the
we
game.
can
Let me pull the volume back up here.
At least this time we don't have a code word like potato salad to use. So try to get banned.
Behold the glory of Quiplash 3, Children of the Quip. If you've played this game before, you know that my name is Schmitty, and I'm basically harmless. Oh, and if you're not in the game, you can still kind of be in the game. Just punch in the room code and join the audience. This is round 1. You'll answer 2 prompts on your device in any way you want, and then each of your responses will square off against someone else's. The remaining players vote on their favorite. Easy, right? You'll rake in the points based on the percentage of people who dig your response. Got it? Great.
Sure.
Okay, those of you playing, you should get a couple of prompts on your device. Just go ahead and answer them. I'm hoping they're kid-friendly. And I'm hoping that we keep it kid friendly, or at least PG-13.
Oh wow.
Think-
Oh, this is tough.
Think
I should know this one.
Gremlins or milder. Oh, interesting.
Maybe we need to figure out a way to do Jackbox style games in the kids track room some year.
Yeah, it's for this particular thing, you need an internet connection, which is usually the hardest part about the.
Well, I mean, like manufacturing, like
Oh, that's
but,
true.
You know,
Yeah.
like setting up a real life version of it, as opposed to relying on everybody staring at their phones instead of, you know, being there with each other.
Time's almost done. Save your bacon with a safety quip.
Oh, Lee, there's 2 prompts, just so you know.
I got it.
Don't know if you know that.
I did it. It took me a
Okay,
second
let's
for one.
see what you've wrought.
Here we go.
And the first prompt is
Without cheating, give your best guess about what's stated in the 26th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution. First, your 2 choices are all citizens shall be granted free donuts or if the president is incapacitated. I think one of those might actually be correct, but the other
Just donuts.
is the other one is if the
Donuts
president's
should be
incapacitated.
correct.
incapacitated.
That's true.
Incapacitated. All citizens shall be granted free donuts is the winner, of
next.
course. A kind of juice that only served at really fancy
All right, vote for the one
restaurants.
you like best.
Mango pineapple kumquat or au jus. A kind of juice that's only served
Oh wow.
at really fancy restaurants. Mango pineapple kumquat or au jus.
I hate it when I can't get back in. I really like John. There needs to be a way to split my vote.
I like au jus. That was a good one. I
I
like that
like
answer.
you too.
Yeah, that's clever.
Mango
But-
pineapple kumquat
And
one.
next is
But Jonathan, you use kumquat. That's kind of cool.
Knock knock. Who's there? Dressing like your father.
now it gets
Or-
real. Pick your
That was
favorite.
easy.
Knock knock. Who's there? Dressing like your father is one of the options. Or baby shark do do do. Now, by the way, there's a fun thing about this. I lasted a long time before I even ever heard that song. I mean, literally like a year. And then
I
finally
still heard
I
the
heard
song.
it. And you know,
You never went to camp?
no, no.
No.
Baby Shark do 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 one. The
channel's
audience
that?
like Dressing Like Your Father though.
I like
And
them both
now-
again.
Lots of people make slime, but only real daredevils make blank in their kitchen. Spider-Man, spider webbing when Aunt May is home, or gelatinous cubes. Both of them are great. Lots of people make slime, but only real daredevils make blank in their kitchen. Spider webbing when Aunt May is home, or gelatinous cubes.
And the 26th Amendment was 18-year-olds able to vote. Gave them
Oh.
the right to vote.
And donuts. Gave them donuts as well.
Did not give them done.
Split the room completely. Both.
I like gelatinous cubes too, though.
When you grow up, the one thing you'll never do is blank,
now
refuse
it's
a
time to
nap,
your favorite.
or blow bubbles in the tub.
I feel like one of those answers was from an adult and one of them was from a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I grow up, the one thing you'll never do
Actually.
is, yeah.
Or it's just a
Refusing.
different way of blowing the bubble.
Yeah.
Oh, refuse a nap
Use a
sweeps
nap. Steve got a super quiplash. Woohoo!
Good job.
No, yeah. Never understood
All right.
why we do that now, right?
Oh, I'll never forget you, round one. But now it's time to look at the scores.
Nice.
it. Oh, who's winning? I missed that.
Steve.
Steve.
Steve, then Eternal Zan.
Round 2 in your future, where points will be doubled and stakes will be higher.
All right, those in the playing the game will redo it. Hey, Gabe, I would love to redo the restart the game, but we're we're already halfway into it. Sorry. Yeah, Gabe pointed out that there are 4 people in the audience, but we're already started, unfortunately. Thanks, Abe. Appreciate it. Duckman says, Lee, that they're going to put aside some coloring stuff for you.
Thank you, Duckman. Almost done.
Lee, there are 2 prompts. Oh, Steve's last. Usually it's Lee that's last.
30
Steve.
seconds is plenty of time.
Well, there's a joke about Lee. There are two things to do.
She was complaining about why it was taking so long, and she was the one who we were waiting on.
You hate to see it.
I forgot that there was 2. I did 1, and I'm like, why is this taking?
Time's
I
almost
didn't hit
up.
submit,
Use the
and
safety
the other
pin
one
if
had
you're
come up.
stuck.
I don't know. Steve, spelling doesn't count.
Okay, here's where the fun starts. And we start with
They should replace math class with blank class, Defense Against the Dark Arts, or Weird Science. They should replace math class with Defense Against the Dark Arts class, or with Weird Science class. Both are very good answers, and both would be awesome.
I think they should be pushed together.
Both classes have a lot of risk for the teacher, though.
That is true.
Yeah.
Defense
did
Against the
that
Dark Arts squeaks it out.
next up.
The most awesome superpower would be peace, love, and understanding. Oh,
Choose your
or
favorite.
giving others superpowers. Oh, we have such a generous and peaceful crowd. Okay, the most awesome. I'm going to cry. The most. I'm not going to cry. I know what you're talking about. The most awesome superpower would be peace, love, and understanding, or giving others superpowers. I'm not even going to announce who wins this because, frankly, it doesn't matter. We all win, really. Especially
It's almost
since.
a split.
Well, okay, Pal Family won. All right,
All right, check this
I
out.
see.
Both got split,
but I won't say who it was. Which one it was.
Giving other superpowers.
Okay. Invent a cool slogan for math.
It's voting time.
Not like you always have a calculator on you. That's one slogan. Or all the cool kids are doing it. Invent a cool slogan for math. Not.
That is
It's
not
not like
what
you
they-
always have a calculator on you. Or all the cool kids are doing it.
All the cool kids are doing it was not the slogan, and I was in
It was it was a slogan. It was just not for math.
There we go.
It's not like you always have a calculator on you wins.
Yeah, I was in math club. Yeah.
Sorry, not to embarrass you, but you have blank stuck in your teeth. Oh God.
One of these is potentially really dark.
Muppet fur or spinach. Anyway, kids track. Sorry, not to embarrass you, but you have blank stuck in your teeth. Muppet fur or spinach. Predictably, Muppet fur
Yay,
wins
Muppets!
by Lee.
Gave him a hug and it
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Yeah, it was a hug. Yeah, definitely.
That was it.
Yeah.
I wasn't thinking of that.
If you wrote a book about your life, it would be called "I Can Punch You in the Kneecaps." Oh, the biography by Lee. Around the World in 80 Fandoms is the other one. I Can Punch You in the
That's pretty
Kneecaps,
good.
or Around the World in 80 Fandoms.
We went from
Fandoms.
we went from altruism to like consuming Muppets and punching kneecaps. This is
I
taking a
was-
turn.
By the way, I was right. That was Lee.
Yeah.
Oh, it was Lee. Yeah, it was.
80 Around the World in 80 Fandoms won the.
And it was a super quick flash, so I got lots of points.
Yeah.
Okay, only one round remains. Let's see how it's shaping
Gabe
up at
says,
this
"Boo,
point.
selfless people."
Okay, push.
All right, let's see who's winning now. Pal family.
Although,
Steve is right behind.
Steve, you're not far behind.
Quiplash, a no-holds-barred quipaganza. You'll each receive a prompt that requires 3 separate responses. You got this. And seeing how we have an odd number game, you'll be going against me. How about that?
See if we can guess which one's Smitty.
Yeah.
All right. As a reminder, you can always send us emails at 50days@theuniquegeek.com. That's 50 DAYS at theuniquegeek.com. Also, you can reach us at 813-321-0884 and leave a message there. That's 813-321-0884. Or on Skype. I always forget to mention this. Skype is the Unique Geek. I'm trying to remember if it's Unique Geek or the Unique Geek. I'm pretty sure it's the Unique Geek. If you have Skype, you can leave a message on our voicemail there, and we can play it. If you have a question or comment, we'd love to hear from you.
We do. We like questions. And we got to look up those other two, John. Oops.
I just saw what Lee wrote. Oh, Lee.
What?
Lee. Oh, Steve. Oh, some of these are depressing. I get to read them in advance. And by the way, I didn't cheat on the one that I guessed that was Lee's earlier. I didn't remember who wrote it. I didn't look at who wrote it.
Just a
But
few seconds left.
I just presumed I can punch you in the kneecaps would be a Lee thing.
Well, it was either that or I didn't mean it that way.
Yeah, just plenty of ways to punch people in the kneecaps.
All right, let's have it.
Okay. 3 people you can blame a fart on: your podcast host, your child, and your dog, or hip parenting blogs, gas station tacos, or my vest collection. Now, I'm guessing this is Smitty, but it's actually not
Yeah. Not.
not a bad answer for it, to be honest with you. So 3 people you can blame a fart on: your podcast host, thanks Lee, your child, or your dog.
Oh!
Yes, Jonathan! Yes!
Jonathan, you did
Jonathan!
that. Keep me from
It
a
was-
super quick line.
It was hip parenting blogs. You have to blame a fart on hip parenting blogs. That's an amazing answer.
We celebrate Mother's Day and Father's Day, but how would you celebrate Kids'
What
Day?
you like best.
Lots of hugs, non-stop games, and no splode creepers. Oh, or all junk food all day, yes day, and no bedtime day today. So how would you celebrate Kids' Day? Lots of hugs, non-stop games, and no splode creepers, or all junk food all day, yes day, and no bedtime today.
Well, if it's all junk food all day, isn't that just Dragon Con?
And Zan won that one.
And
And
no
that's-
bedtime's a big deal.
Junk
So she got-
food, no bedtime. Yeah.
I did like yours too, but it's the all junk food all day.
Yeah.
The 3
Can't compete
ingredients
with
of a
All
perfect
right,
summer:
who's your favorite?
vaccines, open northern borders, and Dragon Con. Oh, or vaccine. Somebody else. Vaccine, sunscreen, win a membership to Dragon Con. Those are the 3 ingredients for a perfect summer: vaccines, open northern borders, and Dragon Con, or vaccine, sunscreen, and win a membership to Dragon Con. And vaccine, sunscreen, and win a membership to Dragon Con 1. But Steve, I'm with you, buddy.
My head gets sunburned. I got to go with the sunscreen.
Yeah, there you go.
That's what
a good one,
happens.
too.
All right, here's the final scores.
Okay, here we go.
Eternal Zan wins.
Barely.
Yeah.
That's close.
Yeah.
That quiplash does it. Woo! There you go. Way to go, Zan.
Good job, Sam.
The number 1 answer, by the way, top answer was refuse an app by Steve. All right.
Use an app?
Refuse
Refuse
a nap,
Oh,
which was one of the things.
you would.
And Zan says finally her first victory.
Yay, way
Nice.
to go.
Congratulations.
This was awesome. That was
All
a
right.
lot of fun. All right, Jonathan, before we log off or hit bye, your Facebook and your where you are, please.
Yeah. So if you want to connect with DragonCon Kids Track, just go to DragonCon Kids Track on Facebook. Type that in the search bar. It'll come right up, and you can join the group. We're going to be in the Hyatt International Tower in the Spring and Techwood room. Spring and Techwood in Hyatt International, and we look forward to seeing everybody.
And I meant to say this earlier. You get to that International Tower by, if you're coming right in the front entrance of Hyatt, you take a right, correct,
Yep.
and go around
That's
the
correct.
gift shop. Yep.
Yep, you go around the gift shop. It's right there. And if you see a concourse and hear music, you're on the wrong side. So go back up to the lobby and go back the other way. There you go. That's an easy way to know. I'm just saying.
All right. Again, thank you, Jonathan, for taking time out to join us. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's been our pleasure, and thank you to all your volunteers. It's this has been a difficult couple of years, a couple of Dragon Cons, but we're all going to get through it, people. We just need to be smart and be nice to your neighbors and thank the volunteers this year especially. It's a lot of stuff to get through, but we all kind of need Dragon Con to be around. So until next time, for Jonathan, Lee, and our fun audience, our guests that played with us today and were participating during the cast, this is John saying until next time, peace.
Bye.
I probably should have this thing set up right. Oh, here it is.
This was a production of The Unique Geek. Call our comment line at 8133210TUG. That's 81332108884. Email us at thegeeks@theuniquegeek.com or 50days@theuniquegeek.com. Follow The Unique Geek on Facebook and Twitter. This podcast is distributed under a Creative Commons Attribution Non-Commercial Share-alike license.
Post credits, squeaky duck.
You should have been able to blame a fart on that too.
That'd have been a good one.
Squeaky duck fart.